morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This video, I can't stand it any longer, even though I've been started back on the shower. The weather's not going to be this nice much longer, so I'm going to try to get this meadow you see here. Doesn't look much like one now. We call it the meadow because it's usually just grassy area with wildflowers growing in it, and we like to let the wildlife eat on them. Bees get them in the summertime. But what is happening, as you can see, is the trees are starting to take over all through here. So this was cleared out once when they brought the power lines through. So I don't want the woods to take back over this part. Excuse me. But I was just thinking, that just shows you how nature works, how God made everything. Was even like where areas that have forest fires, it'll take a long time, but the woods will eventually come back to life. So if you're wondering why we don't just let it go because it's almost winter time, it's because if we don't get on top of it now through the winter, and then when the spring comes, this will just bloom right back out. So we usually, when we were taking care of this constantly, if it rained pretty regular, we would cut it like twice a month, maybe once a month, just depending. But a drought, we might cut it once a month, or maybe not have to cut it all month. We have to go by the weather patterns. But we don't want it to look like our yard. We don't want that. But we just don't want it to get to where this stuff starts taking over. And since we've lived here, it hasn't been like this. So we've got to do something about it now. So as you saw, I've already started weed eating. What I've got to do, this terrain here is really, really rough. If I had a brush hog, wouldn't worry about it. I just back up and down in here and cut it all down. But I don't. So I'm weed eating up to, see if I can find the area. It's up close to this tree, or maybe where I'm standing at. No, I think it's up by the tree. Then I can cut the rest of that. What I'm going to do is take our self-propelled push mower, because our riding mower wouldn't go on this very good at all. It just keep getting stuck. So I'll take the self-propelled mower and lift it up as high as it'll go and cut it. After I go through here and pick up all the loose old branches that have fallen from storms or whatnot. There's a couple areas up here by the power pole that have, it's an area of rocks. I'll probably go ahead and take my weed eater and cut around them just so I don't hit them again. So I'm hoping to get this done pretty quick. So I can go down and do behind the building there, because I got to move for now all the stuff that's going to the dump that we haven't had time to get back to the dump. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the back of the building so it's not right out here in the front. Can't stand looking at it. Let me change my attachment. Well, I'm going to weed eat a little bit more. Weed eat a little bit more, then I'm going to change. I'll get back to you with my other attachment on. Cut these small trees that are coming up. All right, I've got it done. Came all the way up through here. Now I'm up to the point where I've got to put my blade on over there. Here's one reason why. I just want to show you an example of that string. That's not a very big one, so I'll be able to put my blade on, cut that right off at the ground. And there's a bunch, some bigger than that. So my plan was this past year to clear all that out. I'll show you. Battery ran dead. You can kind of see an opening up in there. It goes all the way down to our power pole. That's where they cut for these lines. So I need to go through there and get that thinned out also. Is before you know it, those fast growing trees will take everything over, and then we don't want them growing up in the power lines. Now Still, one of these days, one of these big tall trees could fall on it, but we just have to deal with that when the time comes. Well, the power company will have to deal with that when the time comes. So we just need to do our part to try to keep everything going back up in there. So I'm gonna put my blade on over here. This attachment right here. Put this attachment on, and it comes off right there, loosens up. That one comes off, this one goes on. Then I can cut all this rough brush down. Oh, still on. Man. I don't know how much that the camera got. Lord have mercy. 24 minutes worth. Battery's almost dead. Well, that's a definite edit down. See if I can do something before the battery runs down. I still got to get in with the chainsaw. Well, a couple of them, so I just went ahead and quit. I'll just get the rest of the chainsaw. I noticed that if I cut it off about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches above the ground, it come right off. Try to get down next to the ground on the bigger ones, and it wouldn't hardly even go through it. So I don't know if it was just vibrating too much or where it's more green on the bottom of it. I have no idea. But I got most of the trees. I still got a couple here to do. I see I quit short. I stopped about 8-10 foot short there from being over, and to that part over there is what I still need to do, but that's not part of the meadow yet. So as you can see, I've got, now it's just down to brush, but the thing is I need to go back and pick all that up. So I think for now what I'm going to do, because I still want to get done behind my garage, it's nothing but just strictly weed eating. I don't have to do any of the brush clearing. So I'm going to take my little electric chainsaw, go over here in the side by side, and I will cut those down. That other pine tree that's suckering off of this, no, that's not a pine tree, sorry. It's just growing right there. I don't think we could, well, maybe I'll wait and see if Robin wants to try to save it, but I don't think we can dig around it. to get a root ball to where we could transplant it. I found a couple of them, small ones in here that we're going to transplant. We've transplanted some down there on the other side of that newer building down there. And a couple of them's doing pretty good. So anyway, let me get my chainsaw, do that. And then I'm going to probably head on down there. I'll pick this stuff up here as the week goes along. Well, no, I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and cut this first and then go down there. So cut this, chainsaw that, and then head down there. And we'll get done with, hopefully, at least around that building down there. Alright guys, we're down here at the garage now. And this is what I'm dealing with. I'm going to start up here at the old Chevy truck. Come down this way. There's the junk that's already there. Some of it we're actually keeping. Some of it we're not. So I clear down to the end of the building. Again, see how much I can get done today. Our days are getting shorter. And what you're dealing with in the morning, well, it doesn't have to be a problem for you, I don't guess. But I don't like, when a dew's on, I don't like cutting because it gums up if you're cutting grass, it gums up your mower deck. And if you're weed eating, it gums up your weed eater. Plus, it's harder on your clothes too. So, I did over there what you just saw. The sun hits fairly early in the morning over there at the meadow. Here it doesn't hit, I don't know what time, 10 o'clock, something like that. So all this has to kind of dry up. So I'm gonna get started, see what all I can get done before the battery runs out. Oh, by the way, I've got three new batteries and a new charger ordered from the Amazon, and it'll be here sometime, I hope. Okay, I've run into a problem. It's an aggravation is what it is. This stuff is like straw where it's died off. See, it used to be like this tall. It's died off, now it's laying here. My weed eater, it's just wanting to wrap up in my string head down there. So I may, at least just for this section here, if I can get it over here, another problem, is run the riding mower through here. Get it down, if I could cut it down a little bit. Just put the mower up on the highest setting. So we don't cut real low anyway, it's almost on the high setting now. And see if I can cut some of this down. Now this down through here, there could be debris laying underneath all that, so I do need to weed eat that. So maybe for now, I'll just use my weed eater, get me a path here, and get that cut down. See what I can do with that before I try to bring the mower in. I don't want to tear the mower up. But I'm thinking there's not much anything in here. still on camera? Can't tell if you're on or not. If you are, there's the kind of stuff that's laying under here. Alright. That was a branch I must have cut off there. I forgot to move it. This tree here needs to be trimmed badly. Oh. Still on? Yep, still on. Move you down here. Got you down in the shade now. Not so hot on you. Alright, I'm going to continue on down this way. Let me take a look first. I don't see anything other than old weeds. It's going to look good as new here just a little bit. That's right. Woo! I'll tell you. I'm probably going to speed this up in the edit, so I should have timed it. But it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes. Maybe not even 10. Between 5 and 10 minutes to clear all that out. This Husqvarna weed eater. I'm not a paid. They're not a sponsor or nothing. Obviously, I don't have no sponsors. But man, when you get that double string thing rolling, they're at full length, buddy, they can rip through some brush. So take that as you want. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this last little bit up here where I was originally gonna start at. Well, this is a pain here. This is nothing like that down there. There's actually green under most of this. As I'm weed eating it, there's green grass underneath of it. It's almost like you could bale this stuff, harvest it, and feed your livestock with it. I mean, it's strange. All right, be back to you in a minute.